Hello everyone, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel. This is my little corner of the internet where I share the things I get up to in my lovely craft room. It's usually cross stitch, crochet, sewing, quilting, little bits of other things thrown in every once in a while. Today is Tuesday, May 26th, and I wanted to come in for a short little update. I haven't posted a video, a regular Flosstube video since February, so I thought it was time for a little catch up. A couple weeks ago I did post a quilty whip parade. I didn't think I'd get as many people watching as I did, and I was actually really quite surprised. So thank you all those who joined to watch that and did subscribe. If you decided to come and see the rest of the stuff that I get up to, you're very welcome. And to all my lovely subscribers who watch on a regular basis, thank you for coming back again. I feel like I haven't done a lot since February, but of course I have. I just haven't done as much as I wanted to. So I won't show you all the cross stitch that I worked on. I've got some finishes and just a few works in progress. It's been a different sort of year already. My husband and I have both lost a parent this spring, so just navigating that for both of us has been, you know, a challenge. But I am so grateful that I have my crafts and things to provide me with some extra comfort. Okay, so my first finish for cross stitch is my Baltimore album sampler. That was my Advent project for December 2025, which didn't get finished until April 2026. Totally bit off more than I could chew with this project, but anyway, I did finally finish it. So here we are. I finished it just before my birthday. And I'm happy it's done. I'm happy the way that it turned out. I'm happy with my color changes. The original design, which is from an older, I think, Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine, had more yellow in it. And because I was doing it as an Advent project, I wanted to have just more pinks and reds and greens. So this is what I came up with. So a couple little mistakes here and there, a couple threads off here and there, but I think in the end it turned out pretty well. So I'm thinking that a nice little vintage looking gold frame might be just the ticket for this to display that, and I might keep it up all year, I don't know. My next finished project, this was a kind of quick start and finish. So this is from Teresa Kogut. It's one of her little like ornament rounds, I believe. So I stitched this one early in the spring. I think I changed the color of her dress, and I don't even know what it's called, but it was just a nice easy thing to work on. I stitched it on a 14 count Aida, the printed Aida that's blue and green. I just thought that looked very springy. Not sure how I'm going to finish this. I mean, it already has, somebody has already requested this, so I'm still thinking how I'm going to finish it off. But very cute. And I finished my light switch cover. So this was a kit I found at the thrift store a number of months back. And it just so happens that the light switch in my craft room is the toggle kind. So there we go. So this is stitched on 18 count Aida that came in the kit. 18 count is actually not my favorite. I think 16 for me is like my sweet spot. 18 I find a bit of a challenge. I'm also finding I think I need to up my reader magnification because things are just getting a little bit harder to see. But anyway, I thought that turned out quite cute. So it was a kit, like I said, I used everything that came in the kit. And then when I put it on the wall and it said make sure you don't tighten it because it will crack, well, the first thing I did was I over tightened it and I cracked it, but I put some nail polish there so it shouldn't crack anymore. But that's kind of a fun little addition to my space. So that's it for finishes. I had, my birthday was in April, so I had a birthday start. And I chose Garden of Quilts from Lori Holt. And I'm stitching this on 32 count even weave. And I am not too far along. I worked on this a couple Saturdays. Again, my stitchy bug has disappeared, so if you find it, can you please return it? Send it back. Yeah, I'm just picking away at this. I was hoping to be a lot further along, but cross stitch is just not something that, I don't know. I'm excited to do it. Like I think about it and I want to do it and I want to start new things and I just have that burst of excitement and then when I think about it a little bit more, just like, oh. So it's okay. I mean, it happens. I know when the urge to stitch comes back, like when the will to stitch comes back, it'll be fine. And that's probably all that I'll want to do for a couple months. So yeah, that was as far as I got at my birthday start. I've also, well, when I was working on my one thread a day, so this is my Jeanne d'Arc sampler from Roland Designs, and you can get this off of their Etsy site. So I've completed, it comes in 4 parts if you don't know it. So I've completed the first part, I'm working on the second part, and also on a 32 count. Oh, there's my needle. So this is how much I've got done of the second part. So maybe, well, I've got 25% of the second part completed. And then this is the top. It will be really beautiful when it's done. So I'm stitching this with a silk, a teal colored silk called Deep Ocean from Sanjo Silk out of Vancouver. Very enjoyable because it's thick enough I only need 1 strand. Then for May, I got all excited thinking I'm going to do Mania, but I'm going to do Medieval Mania because I have a whole bunch of medieval themed projects, Jeanne d'Arc being one of them. And you know, it was just a big flop. It was about May that I realized, you know, this whole cross-stitching thing is just not going to work for me at the moment. So I had started on a project that I had started like Mania 2019. This is what it's supposed to look like. I started this in 2019 during Mania, so I think I stitched on it for a day. And then I moved on to other projects every other day, or every day after that. So I thought this year I'm going to pick it up, Medieval May, this will be fun. This is going to get abandoned. The problem with this is, for me, is there are so many fractional stitches and I'm really not enjoying it at all. Like, I'm absolutely struggling. So to get all these motifs to look like they do requires fractional stitches. I put in a little bit more this year. So yeah, seriously, there's hardly anything there. Wait a second. I don't know if that helps. So I put in a little bit more of the gold this year, and then just to make it easy on myself, just to do straight cross stitching, I ran down here. But then I just wasn't picking it up, and I had other medieval themed projects that I wanted to work on, but I wanted to make more progress in this, but then I didn't want to stitch anything. So this is going to be a give up. I'll probably just pull these stitches out and then chop the fabric up so that I can reuse it. But sadly, my medieval lady will not materialize ever for me. And then that was the only medieval themed project that I worked on in May, and that was just a couple of days. So basically, I have no stitching plans for summer. I mean, as much as I'd love to do, you know, I think, oh, June, I'd love to do strawberries and roses, and July, you know, lavender and bumblebees and that kind of thing. I decided I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on myself. This is a different summer than previous summers. You know, hopefully it's going to be calmer than the spring was, but I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I've decided I'm making no stitching plans. If I pick up a needle and thread, well then, you know, that's great. But other than that, I'm just going to focus on my other hobbies that I have been excited to do and keep going back to. So yeah, that's it for my cross stitch and the enormous update there. So sewing, I've been doing some sewing. I did finish a project I talked about in my last video, and I've been doing quite a bit of quilting because I just find that to be easy and good. Yeah, so the one thing I have finished was my tote bag. This is called the Altoona Tote, and I purchased this pattern and the fabric in British Columbia when I was there in February. So I made the medium size. Finally got it finished. It shouldn't have taken me as long as it did, but it did. So this is the finished bag. Oh, look at that. I love the fabric. I absolutely adore it. So, that's the outside. So it's all quilted. You use the foam, Annie's Soft and Stable, I don't know, Soft and Foamy, I don't know. Anyway, you sew it on the foam and you quilt it. This is the inside. This is a cheater print from Riley Blake. It's Lori Holt designed. And there's one of my crochet projects inside. Actually kind of matches. So there's no pockets in this, which I thought was going to be a problem, but you know, I think this is going to be my large crochet project bag, so it's okay because I don't need pockets. All I need for my crochet stuff is my yarn, and then I have a little pouch for my hooks and my stitch markers. But I'm quite happy with how that turned out. Yeah. Oh, I just love that fabric. All the springtime things. So it's quite big. Would I make another one? I'd probably do a small one. I think a big one would be too big for me, but who knows? I have the pattern. I have buckets of fabric. Who knows? And I've been doing a lot of quilting. So since I last did a regular video, I have completed 3 quilts. One of them is on Instagram back in February called Cabin Peaks, but that was a gift, so that's already been sent off. I have 2 more that will be on Instagram shortly. One is a little bit big to show here, but I did show it on my Quilty Whip Parade, or I tried to anyway. It's kind of hard to maneuver all those big quilts by yourself. But then the last one I finished, so this was a YouTube tutorial from Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's called Dress to the Nines, and I think that's just a disappearing 9 patch. I used 4 charm packs for this one. So I'll just show you like a quarter of it. Just for space reasons. But you can see the whole top unquilted on my Quilting Whip Parade. So it's just lots of fun, bright colors. this quilt got a lot of love from people. It seemed to be pretty popular. But and then I just backed it with a navy blue. I don't know if you can see the quilting. I just did crosshatch quilting with a variegated thread. So this is a gift. So this will be going off. I don't know if I'm going to deliver it in person or if I'm going to mail it. But since I have to mail 2, we'll see. So that's a dress to the nines. Very easy to do. And then next I have my birthday quilt. So I use this pattern called Summer Porch. I was gifted a gift certificate for my birthday, so I used it to buy fabric, of course. And I'm doing this version. I wanted to do black. This is just a throw size, which is perfect because that's all I want. So it's got all these lovely kind of stained glass looking fabrics, super bright colors. That's why I thought the black sashing would be really nice. So this is the next thing to get quilted. I was supposed to have this done by, well, my own deadline was the end of May, but as it's the 25th, 26th now, I'm really pushing it. So we'll see, but it should be finished next time that we chat. And then I have started, let's see, yeah, next up, yeah, so I've started another quilt. This is called Stomping Ground, and it's a pattern by Wendy Shepherd. So it's all these cute little elephants. I'm doing mine, so I liked this mock-up of the blues and grays. So mine, I'm kind of going off this. So I've gone through all my blue fabrics, and I've pulled out like a lot of florals, and because I have a lot of florals. So I've just picked all fabrics from my stash. I did have to buy some grays because I'll do a couple gray elephants as well. I did have to buy some gray fabric, and I have about half the elephants cut out already, and I have all the background cut out. So I feel like I'm making good progress on that. We shall see how the weekend goes. I have a sewing day on this coming Sunday, so I'm hoping maybe I can get a couple blocks put together then. We shall see. And then the last thing I have been working on, well, that I've been doing since the last time we spoke, is some crochet. And right now crochet just seems to be floating my boat, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. I made these sweet daffodil bookmarks. Look at that. Oh. Did I tell you daffodils are my favorite flower? So I've made 3 of these so far, but I did gift one. I made these using like the craft cotton, pearl cotton. I think I did one with crochet cotton, which makes it a little bit stiffer, but I don't know. I have more colors of the crochet or of the like the crafting cotton you get on the skeins at Michael's. The kind they use to make friendship bracelets. So anyway, so we have this cute little yellow, or white and yellow, and this one. So this is a pattern by Olga Poltava. She has a shop on Etsy, which is where I purchased this pattern. She may have a tutorial on her YouTube channel where you just follow along and you don't have to buy the pattern. But the pattern is like $3, and I've already made 3. So, and I just like to have a printout sometimes, you know, because I like, in the summer I cross stitch outside, and where I sit, there's usually like the internet connection's kind of dodgy, so it's just nice to have the pattern to follow along. Okay, so then I'll show the pattern I started that was in here was So this is called the Flower Granny Square by Winding Road Crochet. So I've started a couple blocks. You know, I got the flowers going here. I'm just going through my worsted weight yarn. There, I got the leaf border on. So yeah, I'm just going through my worsted weight yarn to put these together. When I looked on the Ravelry, you know, the project page for the pattern, some people had made bags out of this square, and I thought that's really cute. But I thought, what if I made one but that looked like poppies? Because when I was looking around for this worsted, I found a bin of red yarns, and I thought, I could do poppies because I don't want to put red flowers in the blanket, but I have a bunch of red yarn. So I'm so excited. So I made this bag. I'm so thrilled with this. I can't tell you. So it uses 13 squares, and I used up a whole bunch of red yarn, just leftovers that I have. So I actually didn't have enough to finish it. So the center square on each side is slightly different. The red is a little bit brighter, has a bit more orange in it, and it also has some stellina, so it's a little bit of a sparkle. I don't know if that'll show up or not. Oh, there you go. And then I wanted to line it because the thing I don't like about crochet bags is you put something in it and then it stretches down to your toes. So I wanted to line it so it wouldn't do that. And my daughter and I were at the thrift store, and I found the most perfect pillowcase that had never been used. So that's what I used to line the bag with. But I did a double lining because I didn't want the lining to show through the holes here. So it's just black on this side, but I didn't want black on the inside because then it's so hard to see. So that's why I picked this one. So I got that made up yesterday. I tried to stitch it on with my sewing machine and it looks so terrible. So I had to rip all that out, and then I stitched it on by hand. And then I also lined the handles because then the handles won't stretch. But yeah, I'm so excited. So I think I'm going to bust this out today. My daughter and I are going out. So yeah, super excited about that. And then I'll get back to the blanket. So I think, much like last summer, I'm going to have a crochet summer. No pot holders this year, because I have enough. So my daughter and I came up with something we're calling just do it or donate it, because I was going through my yarn and I would have these skeins like, oh yes, I was going to make slippers out of this, or this is pretty yarn, I could make a scarf, other things, other little projects. So we just figured that if we don't do it this summer, then we're just going to have to donate the yarn. And I don't want to donate this yarn, but I want to get these things done. So I just pulled some things together. And the blanket is also one of the do it or donate it things, because I have a lot of worsted weight yarn that I really don't use anymore. But some of it's like full skeins. So my daughter took a bunch. She's working on a project, and I'm going to work on these blanket squares. So I doubt I'll get the whole blanket done this summer, but you know, I should make some fair good headway. And I just made 13 squares of that pattern, so I could almost do it in my sleep. And it'll just be nice to sit outside with some skeins of yarn and my hook and just work that stuff up. I've got a scarf on the go. I found this beautiful Lion Brand scarfie in my stash. It's black and green. I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite pretty. So I'm turning this into a scarf. I started it this morning. That's as far as I've gotten. But I've made this before, so it's very quick. It's called the Mindless Scarf. I think it's by Knotted Nicole. Yeah, Knotted by Nicole. So that's what I've started. I have a couple other things on the go, like a poncho, but it's so slow going that I'll show you that when it's done, which probably won't be till next year. And another project that I I started during, you know, a very sad time. So I haven't picked that one up again, but I will because it's a beautiful color. And I think that's it. So yeah, like I said, for 3 months, I feel like there's not a lot there, but I mean, there's quite a lot there, you know, considering everything that's happened and just, you know, the busyness and the emotional ups and downs that have been going on. So, you know, it's quite a lot to do, a lot that has been done. I'm just looking forward to a nice calm summer, fingers crossed. If my stitchy bug comes back, that's great. But other than that, I just have plans to kind of, you know, do these things that are bringing me comfort. And, you know, we have other things to be excited about too. Our son graduates from university, and there's that to look forward to. Our daughter's home for the summer from her grand adventure in France, so I'm very happy to have her back. I've got a garage full of furniture that needs to be refinished and redone, so I will be busy. I'm not exactly sure when I will be back for another update. I hope it's not as long as this one, but you just never know. So anyway, I just wanted to drop in, show you some things, say thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful summer. And yeah, happy days, friends.